You don't have to go straight to DVD, but you can't stay here. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for another top 10 movies so bad they were pulled from theaters. Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're looking at even more films that bombed so badly and suffered such negative word of mouth that studios either pulled them early or a significant portion of theaters stopped showing them. If you think we missed any bombs, be sure to check out our original list of movies pulled from theaters. Number 10, A Cure for Wellness. Horror isn't exactly a genre known for consistent quality. Yes, there are countless superb horror movies out there, but in terms of what makes it into theaters, there's also a lot of trash. Which is what makes the failure of the sci-fi psychological horror thriller from Pirates of the Caribbean director Gore Verbinski, starring Dane DeHaan, so spectacular. A $6 to $8 million opening weekend prediction dropped to $4 million after poor attendance on opening night.
How do you know about that?
By week 3, in an almost unprecedented wave of theater dropouts, the film had lost 97.8% of its venues, leaving a paltry 88 theaters to show the film. Number 9, Honky Tonk Freeway. With a title like that, the writing was on the wall for this one long before the name was on the marquee. Then again, a film that was allegedly financed as part of a tax evasion scheme isn't likely to be overly concerned with integrity, is it?
I don't know if that's what I really want out of life.
At the time of its release, Variety described the flop of a film as devoid of any basic humorous appeal, which for an ensemble comedy film is not great. Against a then massive budget for a comedy film of $24 million, it made a paltry $2 million in change, leading it to be pulled from theaters after a single week. Yikes.
Honky Tonk Freeway. Get off on it.
Number 8, Paranoia. Roll call: Harrison Ford, Gary Oldman, Liam Hemsworth, and Amber Heard. You'd think this film had something, but theaters and audiences felt differently. This not-so-thrilling thriller about corporate espionage was critically derided as painfully unoriginal and just plain boring. By week 3, it had dropped from 2,459 theaters to just 392. For hit-or-miss success Robert Lukatic, who has given us such gems as Legally Blonde, and misfires like Win a Date with Tad Hamilton, this fell squarely within the latter category. It did so poorly that American distributor Relativity Media reportedly fired its head of marketing 1 week after the film's release.
Okay, I think it's time for you to go.
Number 7, Alone in the Dark. Few names send a shudder down a critic's spine quite like Uwe Boll, and it's not because he's an effective horror director. No, Uwe Boll is a filmmaker whose work is so despised that a petition for him to retire reached over 350,000 signatures. Alone in the Dark was his second, loosely based video game adaptation to infuriate fans, following House of the Dead. While the latter managed to make back its budget, this critically reviled film, considered among the worst ever made, only made $10 million against a $20 million budget, and was pulled from theaters after 3 weeks.
I don't believe it.
Number 6, From Justin to Kelly. The first season of American Idol may have been a game-changing moment in pop culture history, but that doesn't mean that its final 2 had the chops to carry a film to box office success.
Sure about this?
Oh yeah, it won't hurt me a bit.
Justin and Kelly may have gone to Hollywood, but should they have? Considered one of the worst movies of all time, their film earned just $4.9 million against a budget of $12 million. Given massive success of American Idol, making so little was a truly remarkable feat. After debuting in 1,969 cinemas, by week 3, it had suffered an impressive 96.2% drop to just 108 theaters. Number 5, Live by Night. The 1-2 punch of Ben Affleck starring in a Ben Affleck directed movie has given us the critical darlings and box office successes The Town and Argo. Live by Night was based on a novel by Dennis Lehane, the same writer whose work served as the basis for Ben's 2007 critical hit Gone Baby Gone. So all things considered, in theory, it had the makings of a hit film. In practice, however, it proved to be one of the biggest box office flops of Ben's career as an actor or director, and the single worst third-week theater drop in cinematic history, with 2,659 theaters pulling out.
We had a good thing going here, and you f***ed it all up in one day.
Number 4, Glitter. Unless it's starring Eminem, very few people want to see a musical artist play a character that's pretty much just themselves in a blatant vanity project. Mariah Carey has tried to blame the film's failure on the fact that it was released on 9/11, even though it was actually released on the much less dramatic 9/21. But the fact that critics and fans alike loathed the film seems a far more likely explanation. By week 2, many of the 1,202 theaters had pulled out. After just 27 days in theaters, it closed, having earned back only a quarter of its $22 million budget. All That Glitters clearly isn't box office gold.
At the end of the day, it is all about you, right? Your entourage, your videos, your crew.
Bullshit.
No, your...
Number 3, Postal.
Shit.
Uwe Boll strikes again. We've discussed the petition, but were you aware of the whole boxing thing? Uwe Boll got so sick of critics tearing apart his films that he challenged them to an actual fistfight, and a few accepted.
Then you read that thread and you know they really hate me. And I said, okay guys, let's go in the ring and let's have a boxing match together.
Uwe Boll actually boxed 5 of his biggest critics. Though he won all 5 matches, this 2007 action comedy, another video game-inspired flick, saw Boll get KO'd at the box office. Though a 1,500 screen release had been arranged, distributors pulled out before it even hit theaters, and in the end, it was shown in a measly 21 locations.
I regret nothing.
Number 2, it's Pat.
I know, let's go to the burger bag and get some fries.
SNL has transitioned a number of its sketches to the big screen over the years, with varying results. They rarely receive positive reviews, but often perform reasonably well at the box office and develop cult followings of fans. No other film in the history of Saturday Night Live, however, has failed quite as spectacularly as this 1994 train wreck. There was so little faith in Pat's performance at the box office that it only opened in 33 theaters, and even then, it was pulled after opening weekend, having scraped together a minuscule $60,822. Number 1, United Passions. Who could have predicted that a film about FIFA executives wouldn't attract an audience? Everyone, apart from FIFA executives apparently. The movie, which focuses on the founding of FIFA, was largely funded by FIFA, and saw its US release overlap with the massive 2015 FIFA corruption scandal.
Are you mad?
Yup, you couldn't write a more ironic real-world premise if you tried. An abysmal theatrical run saw the film make a laughable $918 in the United States, and somewhere between $100,000 and $200,000 internationally against a reported estimated budget of $29 million. Unsurprisingly, it was pulled from most markets in a matter of days.
I am afraid that we have disappointed you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.